Don't tell military culture and male rape. I'm going to be speaking about MTS, which is an abbreviation for military sexual trauma. I'm going to be speaking about male sexual assault, and I'm going to be using this term to refer to experiences in which a man receives unwanted physical sexual contact without consent or in a situation that precludes his consent. Many of MTS experiences include rape, sexual assault, and repeated experiences by veterans during military service. With the increase of awareness of sexual assault that occurs during military service, the Veterans Administration focused both MTS for male and female. We know male and female assault happens, we don't know why it's underreported. The Department of Defense estimates that 67% of women and 81% of men do not report military sexual assault. In 2010, Department of Manpower found that 85% of military men, when experienced unwanted sexual contact, do not report it. The Department of Defense in 2012 did a report of active duty members in which female and male active members were asked to select from several answers why they did not report sexual assault. Males tended to answer consequences of reporting it, for example, punishment, decreased chances of promotion, not being believed. Females, on the other hand, answer items like feeling uncomfortable and wanting to keep the assault confident. There's a belief in the army that men don't get raped, or at least real men, strong men, don't get raped. In the military culture, there's a strong push to take control of hostile situations as the aggressor in any battle. In the sexual arena, there is a related belief that men initiate and control sexual activities and that men are too big and strong to be assaulted. In the military setting, the currently held belief is that strong men cannot be sexually assaulted and that one must be strong to be successful, would be expected to result in an intense feeling of shame about sexual assault and denial and secrecies as a defense against sexual assault. There's also many belief that male-on-male rape is about homosexuality, and only homosexual men get raped, only homosexual men perpetrate rape. Male rape victims report fear of homophobic reactions from the police and medical providers. There's many that believe that gays are perpetrators and dangerous to their fellow soldiers. Sexual assault by another male in the military may therefore conclude that he will be viewed as homosexual. Although being labeled gay is no longer a reason for military discharge, it continues to carry a negative connotation in the military environment. Many people in the army believe a man can get raped by a woman, or a female on male rape is not that serious. Men are even less likely to gain support or sympathy when the predator is a female. In fact, studies have found that 47% of men believe that men who are sexually assaulted by women get sexually pleasure from the occurrence. They believe that a man cannot get raped by someone who's weaker than them because there's less military women in high position that they look at women as if they were weak, and someone that's weak cannot rape a man. That's totally out of the world. There's also another belief that men don't get raped. The belief that men don't get raped is pervasive among patients who were treated and often last decades after the assault. Men report fears about not being believed, often based on the past perceptions of disbelief or rejection when they reveal the sexual assault to the providers or others. Many do not believe them and say that there's nothing to do about it. This has been happening for many years. Men do not report sexual assaults in the military because they're scared of being perceived as liars, as homosexual, and being taken off as a joke. That's why there's a program for MTS, military sexual assault, that is in charge of treating patients with this kind of issue. And there's still many people that believe that women are the only one being sexually assaulted in the military, and there's less research papers about male being raped in the military because men are strong. There's fewer and less people that know this issue.
While it's commonly believed that women are the only ones who are raped in war, it's actually far from the truth. Over time, rape has been used as a weapon against the man's dignity in war, being able to demoralize any soldier or citizen. It's commonplace for an army to plow through a nation and rape the people whose land they've conquered. While it's easy for a woman to come out about being raped, it's quite the contrary for men. In many cultures, it's not accepted, due to their religion, to be raped by another man. Men are supposed to be strong enough to defend themselves and their honor. After a man is raped in the battlefield or in their own home, they are filled with overwhelming shame and distraught, often leaving them incapable from functioning in their own society. It's also common for rape to happen in the training of new cadets. It's very often that a soldier will have to be fighting next to the person who raped them.
Women face challenging circumstances through their daily lives. It is said that women have been raped since the ancient Babylon, where soldiers were given license to rape as a reward for their victories. Incidences of rape perpetrated either by combatants or civilians during conflict situations, thus given the term war rape. In the article Battles on Women's Body, it mentioned that the raping of women was noted in the post-World War II war crime trials. It has been said that the greatest cause of violence against women is tolerance and lack of political will. It's been said that the Soviet soldiers raped approximately 2 million women in eastern Germany in 1945. In 1971, Pakistani soldiers raped more than 200 Bengali women in the Bangladesh War of Independence. The link between rape and war has been ignored by many policymakers, and we do not hear much about it in the news. In this article, Barbie in the War Zone, there was a case in 1995 where 3 U.S. Marines assaulted and raped a 12-year-old girl on the Japanese island of Okinawa. The United States Pacific Commander told reporters, "I think it's stupid for the price they had paid to have a car they could have had a girl." It is very devastating how some people can implicitly accept rape as being a part of the military life. There must be justice for these women and young girls suffering such traumatic stages in life. Now, in recent modern year, the military has made a program called Sharp Statistics. It educates soldiers into preventing and responding to sexual assault and harassment in women and men. Hopefully, it should help decrease the amount of rape that has been occurring through times.
An ancient and horrific aspect of warfare is the systematic use of rape and forced impregnation as tools of war. International law now clearly and explicitly outlaws these heinous acts, and the Rome Statute of the nascent International Criminal Court (ICC) includes both rape and forced impregnation among the crimes over which it has jurisdiction. The international community has recognized rape and forced impregnation as war crimes, as crimes against humanity, and as instances of genocide. It has proven much more difficult to come to grips, legally and theoretically, with the wrong done to the children born of wartime rape. The silence surrounding these children reflecting both a desire to protect them and a widespread denial of their existence. Indeed, human rights advocates have openly worried about whether the children born of wartime rape really are victims of their rapist fathers. There are 3 reasons for this worry. First, while the rapist father violates a woman's rights in the rape through which the child is conceived, it is not obvious how this act wrongs the child. After all, it is through this act, however horrible for the mother, that the child comes into existence. Second, because the child does not exist at the time of the rape, it is not clear whether any wrong the child suffers could be a violation of his/her rights. Finally, because the wrongs the children actually suffer are usually inflicted by their birth communities or by their states in which they are born. Some advocates fear that a human rights approach unavoidably implies the child's right never to have been born. Such an implication could only add to the stigmatization of these children and exacerbate their suffering. Most importantly, human rights approach to children born of wartime rape is urgently necessary and demonstrates that the philosophical objection to thinking about rapists as violating children's rights can be overcome.
Rape. Rape is a very traumatic experience for any child to experience, especially during such chaotic times like war. When studies were done in Liberia, still recovering from civil war that ended a decade ago, the study found that more than 80% of victims in 2011 to 2012 were younger than 17 years old, and almost all of them were raped. On the other side of the continent, rape in children during war is a common issue due to the fact that children, because of fear, remain silent and don't speak or defend themselves before armed adults. Third world countries are more profound to have incidents of these poor children living in a house for so long. A study of the Democratic Republic of the Congo reported that nearly 2/3 of sexual violence cases recorded by the United Nations in 2008 involved children, and sadly, most of them were below the age of 13 years old. Children are our most vulnerable victims of war, and it is our right as adults to protect and defend them to the best of our abilities from vicious war soldiers with no heart and soul.